Update from the future.
All right, thank you, TJ. We're about 9 minutes into this one. The Hogs have a hot hand. They trail Kentucky 26-24. It should be noted, Arkansas was spotted 18 points to start the game by Kentucky coach John Calipari. He said he wanted to see, quote, what happens when the Gingers boys have a first half lead. End quote. Had a bit of an embarrassing moment earlier. Arkansas coach John Pelphrey wandered out onto the court looking for a sweet tart he dropped. Kentucky inbounded the ball with a three-quarter court pass, led to a 19-foot jumper directly in front of Pelphrey. Pelphrey seemed fairly unfazed, seemed like he had some experience in that situation. However, assistant coach Scotty Thurman had to be examined by medical personnel for what is being described to me as an overdose of irony. Kentucky has just scored again. They ran a pick and roll. It appeared to have caught the Arkansas players off guard. The Hogs were busy getting concessions for the courtside boosters, and Kentucky took advantage there, TJ. That's just hustle. You cannot coach that. It is 28-24 here. Kentucky leads. From Bud Walton Arena, I'm Jeremy Hurtt, and this is not a productive use of my time. TJ. All right, thank you, TJ. We're at halftime here at Bud Walton Arena, and this game is shaping up to be a classic. There have been 11 dunks, 9 3-pointers, and 5 scores on inbound plays. And, you know, if we're being fair, the Hogs have had some pretty good plays, too. Kentucky is clinging to a 73-30 lead, so a little Bud Walton magic here, and it's anyone's game. Hero of the first half for Arkansas, no doubt about it, local ball boy Freddie Joe Wilson, who has cleaned 5 separate Razorback blood spots so far without being called for any fouls. Though he did mistake one Arkansas possession for a 30-second timeout, accidentally deflected a Michael Sanchez shot back toward and into the basket. So Wilson inadvertently leads the Razorbacks in rebounding and is third in scoring at the intermission. Rodney Clark got off to a slow start. It's doubtful he'll be able to improve on it much. He has to leave here in a few minutes for Wednesday night church, which I'm sure will once again bring John Pelphrey's practice of recruiting only Southern Baptists under scrutiny. But honestly, you get the bad with the good, TJ. Cats lead 73-30 at the break here, and the crowd seems pretty enthusiastic for the halftime show, which will feature migrant workers dressed as condiments competing in GILI for the right to be an official sponsor of the Under 8 TV timeout. From Bud Walton Arena, I'm Jeremy Hurtt, and I no longer fear death. TJ. All right, thank you, TJ. With 8.5 minutes left in this one, it is starting to look very bad for the Hogs. They trail Kentucky 104-37. Arkansas is really going to have to press to get back in this game, but do not forget, John Pelphrey's teams are at their best when you have no positive expectations for them, or when they're playing NAIA teams. Either way, anything can happen here. If the Hogs want to win this game, they will have to focus on playing better defense. In fact, I think they should probably abandon the 1-1-1-1-1 zone. It's been very ineffective today, especially when none of the Razorbacks have realized that they were, in fact, on defense. Maybe switch to a box and one. Coach Pelphrey let me know before the game he brought an extra large box from Sam's Club for just this type of scenario. Maybe it's time to use it. Also, and I hate to be critical, but I think at some point the coach has a responsibility to point out that maybe some of the opponent's players are not eligible. I'll give you an example of this. Up to this point, Kentucky's top scorers tonight, Jamal Mashburn, Rajon Rondo, and Rand Paul. So that's really been a significant difference in this contest so far. It's 104-37 right now, and we are getting ready for game action to resume just as soon as Marshawn Powell can be convinced to come out of the bathroom and bring back the game ball. From Bud Walton Arena, I'm Jeremy Hurtt, and these pretzels are making me thirsty. TJ! All right, it is a final here, TJ. Kentucky beats Arkansas 144-37. The Hogs battled, but in the end, they ran into the same problem it's haunted them all year long, which is, how do you win games without scoring in the final 10 minutes of regulation? It's a tough nut to crack, TJ, but if anyone can do it, I have faith that John Pelphrey might know who that person would be. The game got ugly late when an Alabama fan tried to pour herbicide on Marvell Waithe, but Waithe was helped out by Delvon Johnson. Johnson thought that the Bama fan was actually a Kentucky player and fouled him 4 times in 30 seconds. Kentucky coach John Calipari was very pleased to get the win, saying, quote, "Hey you, yeah you know who you are. That thing we talked about, I put it in the place we said I would put it. You look great in blue. Come be a winner. Come be a Tiger. I mean Wildcat." End quote. John Belfry was less enthusiastic. He said in his post-game interview that he would dance on Jeff Long's grave and that if anyone didn't like it, they could talk to the hand, and then he immediately followed up with awkward giggles and several obscene gestures. I asked player Kiko Hadar what he thought the implications of this game would be on Arkansas's potential postseason destinations, and he replied, quote, "You know who I am? Seriously? Hey, can you talk to this chick for me real quick?" End quote. Tough loss for the Hogs here tonight. They will try to rebound Saturday against Auburn in a game President Obama has ordered to be aired on the Lifetime Network so that no one will actually see it, apparently under the guise of national security. From Bud Walton Arena, I'm Jeremy Hurtt, and I ain't got time to bleed. TJ.